Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video. This one's going to be a little bit different from what I usually do, and it's going to be the very first video in a series that I'll be doing. I'll be trying to post as regularly as possible. Obviously, I post market breakdowns and things like that, but this series will be basically a course over the things that I've learned over the past 5 years. Okay. This is personal experience. This is wins and losses. This is full transparency over the knowledge that I've accumulated in good and bad ways, the things that I've had to learn, the things that I've had to unlearn, just anything that would mostly be useful to traders of any level. I mean, realistically, I started where all of you guys have started, from rock bottom, from knowing nothing. None of us are born into this world knowing anything about trading. We had to all, learn what price action is. We had to learn what candlesticks are, things along those lines. So this is going to be kind of starting from nothing and then working our way up to where I am right now, and that is being a full-time trader. Okay. Now, the very first video in this series is going to be about TradingView, how to use TradingView. So how do we use TradingView properly? How do I use TradingView properly? What do I use? What do I not use? Now, it would be nice if I could get a fresh TradingView on my chart, like one with a brand new account, so that I know how it looks like. Unfortunately, I already have mine set up in the way that I like it, and I'm just going to kind of go over what I have here. I'm not going to go over any information that I don't use personally. So that way we save some time. I've already recorded this video 2 times, and I realized that there's way too much to talk about and things that I don't even use. So why am I talking about them and wasting both my time and your time? So trading has to be as simple as possible. You don't need 30 indicators. You don't need 100 lines on your chart. Realistically, this is all you need. And I'm going to keep it as simple as possible so that you guys don't get confused either. Okay. So starting from the top, how do I use TradingView? What is TradingView used for? Well, TradingView is a platform that all traders use, or at least most traders that I know use. On TradingView, you can view prices, market structure, candlesticks, line charts, everything that you need in order to properly identify and understand price action. Now, different platforms provide different types of information, and also you can pay additional prices for additional information on TradingView. I think I just have the very basic, I think $15-20 a month TradingView subscription, which basically just allows me to have a few extra indicators and a little bit of extra data on my chart spanning back a few extra years. So I don't even use that extra data most of the time. Anyways, this is the way that I have my TradingView set up. In this, in this little section right here, you'll see all of these selections. If you just have TradingView without anything else, you're not going to have this right here. This is the TradingView Confluence tool. I'll go over that in a separate video, but on actual TradingView, you'll only have these 4 tabs. The first one being your watch list. It's going to be your most important tab of all. You're probably going to have this open 90% of the time. Okay. Here you can add your pairs. You can create sections inside of this bar here. You can sort your pairs by color. You can sort them. I sort mine by blue and red for buys and sells to mimic what I have on my screen right here. You can basically customize this fully. You can add different information, volume, the hours. I don't even know what some of this stuff is. You can add the description, basically just shows you, just spells out what the pairs are rather than shortening it. Okay, so I have mine to where it just shows the last price and the change in price for the day. It just shows the pairs, and that's it. I don't need anything else. But if you want to customize your watch list or add new watch lists, you can share your watch list, add alerts, make copies, rename this. So I have mine named as all pairs. I have 2 other ones called Sunday Swings and Swing Scalping. And then if you want to clear your list completely, remove everything from it, you can do that. Not really going to do that for you guys right now. The next section is one that I use as well, just to clear my alerts. Usually you'll have notifications right here showing that your alert has been triggered. And every once in a while I go through here and I'll delete all of the inactive alerts. That's all I do. I don't even come in here for anything else. I'm just OCD. So I go in there and clear those alerts. Now, let's move on to some other important information. Down here, you can click on this little arrow and it'll pull up this panel. Okay, this panel is basically, I don't know what this is. It's an editor for something, but here's your trading panel, okay? If you want to trade directly through TradingView, you can click on this and pull up. These are a list of all of the brokers that connect directly to TradingView, and you can actually click buy and sell. As you can see right here, you have your buy and sell buttons, and it'll actually place your order into TradingView, and you can make money from TradingView. If you want to practice, this is one of my best recommendations is to practice by using simulated money, basically paper trading, and TradingView allows you to do that directly through their platform. So that's amazing. This is one of the nicest things that TradingView has to offer. Next is going to be this section right here, okay? You can basically change what you want your mouse to look like on your screen. So you have this, you can have it to look like this, or you can have it to look like, I don't know what this is, to demonstrate certain things. I just keep mine as a regular cross, and that's all. You can just customize it however you like. I'm not even sure what else. Oh, eraser. So if I want to erase certain things, I just click on them, bam, and it's gone. So that's pretty useful as well. Next is this section right here. Now you'll notice that there's stars by some of these things, and that's because I have them in my favorites tab. This is your favorites tab. Anything that you favorite will actually end up on this tab. So I can favorite the cross, and then I don't have to actually switch between certain things. I have a trend line. What does a trend line do? It's basically a line. That's exactly what it is. It's in the name. I favorite my horizontal lines. If I want to place one for support resistance levels, that makes it super easy. I don't have to take a line and draw it across my screen. But for a trick for these lines, if you want them to be straight across, sometimes you can't get them to be straight. All you have to do is click on it, hold it, drag it, and then click shift. Hold shift on your keyboard and then let go. Boom, it's a perfectly straight line. Same thing with horizontal, shift. So it's whichever direction it's closest to. You can even have it to be diagonally, okay? So that's just a little fun fact. All you gotta do, you drag it, click shift, and it will straighten out for you, okay? Next is, so that's basically all I have favorited from this section. Next is the next section. This is the Fibonacci's. I only use one Fibonacci, which is the Fibonacci retracement. It's basically shows you the discount in price. So if I drag my Fibonacci from point A to point B, it shows how far price has pulled back. So here, price pulled back into the 50% level. That means from the lowest point to the highest point, price was discounted by 50% before it had a continuation. That's what the Fibonacci is. That's what it does. I don't use it very often, but it is useful for some people. This is a bunch of geometry, Elliott waves, circles, all that type of stuff. Patterns. I don't use any of these. I don't think that they're necessary. I think they make trading a little bit complicated, at least for me. One thing you can use, I think the only one that is useful is the head and shoulders. That is one I have used in the past. I just usually show people how it works based on, I'm not sure when my computer is lagging a little bit. I usually just show it with this, what do you call this? Arrow line. That's how I illustrate the head and shoulders patterns. So you can use the head and shoulders. That's pretty nice. These are arguably the most important things you can have on your screen. That is the long and short positions. I have customized mine to look a different color, but basically the red shows you where your stop loss is, and the blue, or for me the gray, shows me where my take profit is, and it actually calculates. It'll show you your risk to reward based on your stop loss and take profit. and it also shows you the number of pips or points, or rather price, that how big your position is, how big your stop loss is, and things like that. So that's very useful. I have those two right there next to each other on my tab. Next is the geometric shapes. I use the brush. You can just kind of draw on your screen. That is nice to have. And then also, if you want to remove or add something, like say if I accidentally deleted something, you can just redo whatever mistake you made. That's pretty nice as well. Or just remove certain things that you don't want on your screen any longer, okay? I have a rectangle. Rectangles are nice to draw areas of interest. I just have mine set to where I can see through it. It's a little bit transparent, but it is also solid on the inside. After that, you have your path. That's what it's called. It's called a path. It's a path with an arrow. You can basically, every time you click on the screen, it creates a path behind it. Then I have the ellipse. The ellipse is basically for highlighting certain things or certain points in the market. You can do it with the eclipse or the ellipse, or you can do it with just regular rectangles. It doesn't really matter. And then obviously afterwards there is the text box. That's how I used to type, just to write on your screen if you want to make notes, things like that. That's useful right there. If you want to use emojis, you have your emojis right here. Not sure why you would need one. And then this right here is basically like a calculator. It's not a calculator, it's a ruler. Okay, so it's a ruler that shows you the amount that price has moved, however many days to the side. You can see how right there it shows days, it shows how much volume was traded, and the amount of pips, the change in price, things along those lines. And that's basically all I use for my TradingView bar right here. You also have, if I have a lot of drawings on my screen, so let's go, or even one drawing. If I don't want to see it, but I also don't want to delete it, what you can do is you can click on this eye right here, and it'll hide any drawings that you have on your screen, and it'll only show you price. Okay, that's really useful to have as well. This right here I use sometimes. It's basically a magnet, and what it does is it magnetizes your drawing to the nearest price point. Okay, it's a little bit annoying sometimes, but if you want to draw specific price points, say for example right here, it'll automatically magnetize my drawings. Or for example right here, yeah, so it is a little bit annoying depending on what you're doing. That's why I don't have it selected currently, but it is something that I've used in the past, so I wanted to show you guys. Then obviously you have delete. If you want to remove all of your drawings, you can do that. If you want to remove your indicators, which are right here, we have yet to go over them, you can remove those as well all at once. And then if you have locked drawings, so this is actually something that I would consider taking off if you want to remove the locked drawings or not. Now, how do you lock a drawing? Well, if I say a set of buy position here, for example, and I took this trade and I want it to always stay on my screen, what I can do is I can just take it. I'm not sure when okay. What I can do is I can just take it like this, and I can hit the little lock right here, and now I can't move it. Okay, it's always stuck in place until I unlock it. Okay, now I can take it, drag it, move it wherever. Now this is especially useful for if I'm trading on a lower time frame and I'm always inside of this, right? So now I can't really move around my screen without moving my drawing. Bam, I lock it. Now I can go ahead and navigate around inside of my position. Okay, that's what I use that for. And it is very useful. And then this tab right here, your favorites bar, can go wherever you want. I usually just leave mine right here, and I allow access to the undo button. That's what I use quite often as well. Now that we've kind of gone through this entire section right here, we can go over something else, which is this down here. Okay, so here we've already gone over the trading panel. This is, if you hover your mouse over it, it basically shows you that it will show you the last 5 years of price action in 1 week intervals. So if I click on this, this right here is the last 5 years of price action. This shows 2020 is the first day, November, and then it goes to November of 2025. Now, if I want to see just the last 6 months, it'll show me the last 6 months in 2-hour intervals. Now, I don't really use this very often. It shows the last day in 1 hour intervals and things like that. Now, if I want to reset my chart, like I say, I'm all the way down here. I have no idea where price is. All you do is you right click on your screen, or if you're on a different device, I'm not sure what you would click on, but basically you're waiting for price to, you just need to reset your chart. So you can, if your mouse doesn't work like mine didn't work just now, all you do is click on this little gear right here and set reset price scale, and it will just zoom in and show you price wherever it is, okay? So now it works for me. Reset price. That's basically, excuse me, that's basically all you need. Now let's go over the top of the section right here. This is basically just your, well, this is your symbol. First of all, this is starting right here. This is your profile. You can change your theme to dark mode, to light mode. I keep mine on light mode. Your drawings panel, I'm not sure what this changes. Okay, so it actually removes this little side panel right there. You can change your language, your keyboard shortcuts, and things like that. I don't use any of that stuff right there, except for maybe switching from light mode to dark mode. Now, something else that you guys would probably need is to be able to add or compare symbols. So if I want to change the symbol that I'm currently trading and I want to change it to NASDAQ, all I do is I click on NASDAQ and it'll switch my symbols, okay? Or you can do that directly through your watch list right here. So there's 2 ways to do that. You can also click add or compare. If I want to add a symbol to my chart, it'll basically overlap them or put them side by side so I can compare them. This is the interval section, basically shows you different time frames that you can trade. If you want to trade the lower time frames, like at the 15-second chart, you have to actually buy premium. My plan is just essential, so I'm not going to be able to do that. Now, if I want to favorite certain things and I want to add them up to this chart, then all I do is you hit the little star right next to it and you hit favorite. If I want to remove certain things, I can remove them by deleting them. These are all custom intervals that aren't actually part of price. So the 12-hour chart here isn't part of price. I can remove that right there from the interval list. It doesn't really matter, but these are the ones that I usually trade pretty consistently on a daily basis. Next is if you want to directly go, there's a shortcut that if you just type in, say, 30 minutes, it'll automatically go to 30, or I can type in 3 minutes, or 3D is 3 days, 3M is 3 months. So you can basically change the interval by just typing on your keyboard. Next is this section that shows basically line charts. These are the different types of charts you can get. You can get session volume charts, your volume footprint charts, your line charts, which is this right here, or just use what I use, and that is I actually use an indicator for my candlesticks, because if I don't, so for example here, if I click on this, it actually doesn't show any of my candles because my candles are currently hidden. They're hidden by, let's see, more settings. They're hidden because I made them transparent, or I just turned them off fully. This is what it would look like without having them turned off. And if you notice, there are a few gaps in price, and that's why I just use an indicator called no gaps candles. I turn my candles off, I turn my indicator on, and now there's no more gap right here. That's what I use for my line chart, or for my candlestick chart, is the no gaps candles indicator. Now we move on to the indicators, what I was just talking about. And these are the indicators that you can basically add onto your chart. Here You have your EMAs, you have your volume, you have all sorts of things. This is the no gaps candles indicator that I use. And there's a bunch of other indicators you can search. You can look them up. There's volume, there's accumulation distribution. The only ones that I really use are the kill zones or opens, and it basically separates your things, separates your sessions. You can edit your indicators by clicking on this. So this one has quite a few options for editing. You can change the style, you can change the visibility. If I don't want it to show up on the 30-minute chart, then it won't. All you have to do is click on that. Or if I do want it to show up, then you just click on it again. Now, I think one of the most important indicators that you can have is the EMA, and it is one of the only ones that I use because the candlesticks don't count as an indicator, and I don't really think that the kill zones really counts as one either. It just visualizes some information for you. But yeah, the EMA, there's a bunch of EMAs you can use. You can just search up EMA, moving average exponential, or there's SMAs, the smooth moving averages. Those are all things that you can use there. After this, you have your templates. So I don't really have any templates saved. I think this is the only one that I have, and that is Forex. It basically just shows you, or it saves, like if for some reason I need a template that shows me NASDAQ on top of S&P 500 because I trade a different strategy, well, then you just save a template that is those two things. I think you can also import some templates if you need, or send them to other people just by clicking on this and then hitting, I think, export chart data, or what is it? Is it something else? I can't remember. But yeah, that's not really necessary. I never use that. Adding alerts. Now, this is probably the most crucial thing that I use. And it's one that I didn't really use correctly until recently. Took me a while to figure out how to use it in certain types of ways. So you can add an alert on almost anything on TradingView. If I click on my price here, you see it shows reset chart data, copy the price, paste. I don't know what you're pasting, but here it is. You can buy or sell instantly, or you can add an alert. So if I'm adding an alert, it'll instantly, you can see right here, this is the alert that it's going to be adding. As soon as price crosses this level, I will be notified both to my phone, to my computer, and whatever other devices I have logged into my TradingView. It has to be on the same account, obviously. Now, there's a few options for the alerts. You can do every single time. So say if I expect price to tap into the same alert or into the same area multiple times, and I want to enter multiple positions, then I can just do every single time price taps into this level, I get alerted. I only use it once because I don't really need multiple tap-ins or whatever that is. Another thing you can do is add an alert on your EMA. Now, this is probably one of the key things that I like to do. If I'm waiting for price to shift, say, above or below an EMA, for example, here, if price is down here and I'm waiting for price to break above and then buy, or if price is up here and I'm waiting for price to come down into the EMA, all you do is you click on your EMA, and there's two different ways to do it. You either right click on it, and it should come up with the option right there, add an alert on the EMA, or you can just click on the EMA here and hit add alert. Okay, now this will apply to the 4-hour EMA, okay? Or you can change whatever time frame you're doing this on. So if I want to do it on the 15-minute chart, I have to go to the 15-minute time frame and say, once price crosses above the 15-minute EMA, I want an alert. So I go here, I hit alert. Now, what are the options that it gives you? It gives you crossing above, crossing under, all this stuff. I just use crossing. That's all I need. Once the EMA crosses what? Once it crosses price? No, what I want to see is once price crosses the EMA. So I have price crossing the EMA, or you could just hit price crossing the EMA. So there's multiple different things you can do. Not sure why my thing's not working. So here it is. Once price crosses the EMA, doesn't matter if price is up here or the EMA is right here. It doesn't really matter, okay? So you have that option there, create. Now, anytime price crosses this EMA, I will be notified. Now we can turn that off because I don't need it. So here it is right here, price crossing the EMA, delete, delete, okay? Let's see what else there is. Okay, replay mode. Replay mode is available, and that's why I pay for TradingView, because I really like replay mode and I want it to be available across as many time frames as possible and with more chart data unlockable. So if I'm in replay mode, what does it allow me to do? Well, it allows me to back test the markets in a previous point in time. So if I click replay, I want to start a new replay, and I want to replay price from right here. Okay, so now I can go to any time frame and it'll be as if I'm in that point in time. Now, if I want to, why is it showing that? Select a bar to replay from. I just click on that button right there. Bam, selected this bar. I can select a date, or I can go to a random date. So it goes random, and it actually takes me to a random place in time, and I can test my strategy randomly. I think that's really, really amazing. And then you can click play, and it starts to play price out. Now you can change the speed at which it plays. You can change the interval at which it plays. Right now we're on the 1 hour interval, so it'll just auto select the interval for you. And then you can also go back to current price action wherever it is, okay? This basically fast forwards it. This, let's see, select random bar, press play, or you can do one by one just by clicking on this button right here, and it only does one candlestick at a time. You can select the speed and things along those lines. I think that's basically everything that we need to go over. If there's something that I missed or something that you guys want me to talk about, leave a comment below. Hopefully this was useful or helpful for you guys if you're new to the platform, or if you're just learning about how to use it or about how I use it. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys for spending the time to watch this, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. God bless.